I'm back. Yeah, it's been about a year since I was able to basically get all the equipment I need for videos, like this camera, lighting, all the other crap that I need for it. It is snowing right now, and it looks really pretty outside, but it inspired me to do kind of a pretty, like, bright-eyed, wintry January look, because I've not been feeling the winter, but today I am. So we're gonna get started with that. I'm going to start by priming it, and I'm using the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. You know, spread it on the spots you need it the most, which is usually my nose, chin, cheeks, and just right in between my eyebrows. That, you're just gonna wanna spread that in. And I'm a little bit between foundations right now, color-wise. So I love the Makeup Forever HD stick, and I also like this Hourglass stick that came out recently. Well, not recently. I like to use the Hourglass in the color Sand and the Makeup Forever in color 128. I really like this foundation. It's extremely hydrating. It goes on really nicely. And it's got pretty good coverage. I know I've used a couple of stick foundations where the coverage was, you know, 50. I like to go in with a stippling brush when I'm using stick foundations. For some reason when I use a beauty blender they don't blend out as well. And this one I'm just using the Sigma Flat Kabuki F80. Really? I'm just going to buff that into the skin. Actually matches pretty good. The rest of my body is decently, you know, tan usually. It's usually just my face that I struggle with getting it to be all the same color. From there, I like to go in and do my concealer. This is one of my favorite concealers, the NARS Creamy Concealer, and I have the color Custard and Ginger. I like to go first in with ginger, just apply that closest to my eye. Then I go heavy with the custard. So yeah, I like to pack it on kind of heavy, but that's because I have pretty dark under eyes. So, and then I'll go back in with the custard because I feel like it's or the ginger. I feel like it's a little bit of not as bright, not as yellowy tint, so I think it looks good on the chin and also the nose. And I usually don't put any on my forehead. And then I'll just go in with a wet or a damp beauty blender and buff it out. So one of the main reasons I like to put a little bit of concealer on my nose is because I don't really like to contour my nose too much, only if, like, I'm really going all out, but I feel like I like to put a little concealer underneath my eyes, drag it up on the side of my nose, and down the middle, and that usually makes a pretty good contour in itself. I don't know. Once it looks like I've got it pretty blended, I will go in with my RCMA powder, and I'll go in, this is my favorite brush to apply my setting powder. It's a Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35, and I will just dip it into the product tap it out a little bit just because it's a lot of excess. I'm sorry, I'm not really sure where that cut out at, but here we are as far as this. Have my concealer foundation on. Now moving on to eyes, I'm just prepping them with a little bit of MAC Painter Pot in the color Painterly. Then I just go over that with any little bit of excess powder that I had on from the RCMA on this brush, and just kind of go over those eyes a little bit just to kind of set that. And then we're ready to go in with some Chateaus. Orange Soda. Anastasia's Orange Soda. It's, you know, a nice little light orangey, just a little bit of brown tones in there. I like to go with this color and just kind of hit my crease area. Alright, now I got you guys a little bit closer. So I'm just going to go with that color and kind of just slightly brush it on the lid. Make sure it's nice and buffed. So you don't need too much of this color. Just a little bit of light brush maybe if you want to go over it with the second time. With the other eye. Alright, now that that's done, I go in with the same brush actually, and this brush, I'm sorry I didn't ever said it, this brush is another Sigma Tapered Blending E40. It's one of my favorite blending brushes. It's really soft and it blends really good. And I'm going in with the brown, Soft Brown by MAC, one of my go-tos. And I'm just going to go over that same area we just went over. Kind of deepen it up. Actually going to be going in with the Too Faced Peach palettes. Smells like peaches. Smells amazing. I'm going to go in with the color Luscious, and it is right there in the palette. And I'm going to go in with my Sigma Large Shader E60 brush. And then to really brighten up the look, I'm going to go in with a single shadow that I got from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's Glam. Very pretty. Let me see if I can do kind of a good swatch with it, if it'll show up. Oh, it kind of shows up. Yes, it's just it's pretty, but it's subtle. And I'm actually going to go in with the same brush. And I'm mainly just going to pop that in the middle. And when I pop it, I just press it right in there. I'm going to actually go in with a smaller blending brush, and this is the MAC 221. I'm going to go in with a mixture of colors. I'm going to go in with Puree right here, and Charmed, I'm sure, kind of a deeper, darker brown. And I'm actually just going to mix the two. And lightly, very lightly, just hit my crease. But I'm actually not going to go too high with the crease. I'm actually going to stay right in the lower crease and actually do more of a V on the outer edge, and then kind of just fill in the middle right there. I put a little bit extra charmed, I'm sure, on my brush, which was the deeper, darker brown. Although I want this look to be very open and wide-eyed, I want it to also be a little bit sultry. Same thing on this eye. Go ahead and mix Puree, charmed, I'm sure. Hit just that lower crease part, pretty good. And then drag it down into the V. And it's okay to kind of go out farther than your actual eyelid is, just to kind of make it. So then I am going to go in with my mascara. Alright, before I move on to the face, I'm actually just going to quickly do my brows. So, power of editing. Alright, next we're going to move on to our contour and face. So first I'm going to go in with the MAC Give Me Sun. I'm also going to go in with a MAC 135 brush. I'm just going to bronze up the face. I follow the same lines I would to contour. I'm going to go in with the shade Light Palette by Kat Von D. I'm going to go in with Subconscious, which is the shade right here. I like to go in with this brush. This is like my favorite contour brush. It says it's a blush brush, but I like to use it for contour because it's nice and pointy, and I just like it. And it's from Master of Beauty. I got it from TJ Maxx, so hit the very bottom of where that Give Me Sun was at. And I also just like to, again, hit the very middle of those areas that we put Give Me Sun at. And for my blush, I'm going to be using one of my newer blushes, which is the Carry one. It's obviously still in the package, so hold on one second, let me take it out. This one right here, it's very hot pink, but when you put it on, it doesn't look like that. And it's in the color You've Got Me Feeling. And I actually drag it all the way from the apples up. I also learned this trick that if you're feeling like you're not totally meshing with the rest of your face, take the excess from whatever's on your blush and just hit your chin, hit your forehead, and a little bit of your nose. Because naturally, we have a little bit of undertones of red and blue and brown, peach, whatever, kind of all over our face, not just blushy cheeks. And it kind of just brings the face together. Before I do my highlight, I'm just going to hit the bottom of my lash line again with the peach palette, and I'm just lightly going to brush Puree in there. I'm going to go in with one of these brushes. I don't know, I've had this probably since I was like, oh, it's e.l.f. It's an e.l.f. brush. I don't know, I like to use it for my under eye. And you just run it underneath there. And I actually don't even really usually take it farther than that point. Just hit a little bit of mascara on the lower lash if you want. I literally do a little bit, again, same thing, I don't want it too dark underneath there, so I don't usually put, I'll either put nothing or the tiniest bit. So let me just hit that really quickly. Next, I'm just going to hit the face with a little bit of highlight. And I'm actually going to be using this Sunbeam by Benefit. Hit the highlights. That. Just take my finger. You know, it's like just a subtle glow, not even really a highlight. Just a tiny subtle glow. And you probably notice I didn't put any false lashes on. 2 reasons. One, I only wear those like when I'm going out, not quite at that stage where I wear them every day. But also, I don't have any. I'll be using this Buxom glass that I have. Dolly. It's pretty, I like Buxom. After that, I'll just hit myself a little Fix Plus. And then we have here the completed look.
Keep all that way from me, fall away from me, fall from me.